Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, almost 8 o'clock. Yeah, that clock was definitely wrong. Yeah, it's about 15 till 8. I've been up since 7. I did not want to wake up this morning. I was too exhausted from just the week. Excuse me. I had my alarm originally set for 6:30, and I was like, no, I want to just sleep for another. I want to sleep actually for another hour, but Dre was like, she has her alarm to remind her to take her medication at 7. So I was like, half an hour just to lay here, maybe get a, quick power nap or cat nap, or however you want to put it. So for the last 45 minutes, I've been running around with trying to get her situated, get me awake, make a cup of coffee, morning routines basically. I stayed up a little bit longer than normal last night because I was reading and I got really interested in what I was reading in. And so part of today's little chat is going to be reading up on some more not how to Hagee, American Cozy. Jerry bought me a new Travis mug, or I guess you'd call it a Travis mug. I mean, it's an insulated mug, and actually this coffee was from yesterday morning. I was supposed to take it to work to help me wake up, but Fridays I don't need help waking up because we are not uber busy, but we do have our rushes. So I don't have any problems waking up at work. It's the weekends that I have problems with. But it says on the side, and this is why Jerry got it for me, not a morning person. I was like, oh, yeah, that's me, all right. I am not a morning person, especially weekends. Weekdays, especially Monday, that's the only day I worry about on the weekdays because Mondays can be a drag. But the rest of the week, I can be bouncing up, getting up out of bed and getting dressed and getting ready for work and taking off. Excuse me. A little something to tell you guys about when it comes to my job. Wednesday, because I was under the impression, because nobody told me otherwise, that I could park in the parking lot right there at the building I work in, and I got a ticket. Now, I read up before Friday that they were supposed to give me a warning before the ticket, so I was a little miffed, not at the fact that I got the ticket, but at the fact that there was no warning. So after talking to one of my coworkers, they're like, "Oh yeah, we park across the street over there, public parking. There's no worries." So I started parking there, but I realized I have to leave the house an extra 5 minutes early. So it's like, do I start waking up a little bit early, or do I just do as much as I can in the night before I have to go to work? So all I have to do is boom, 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 I'm done, and I can leave the house by 5:30, 5:35, and have plenty of time. But anyhow, yesterday I went to pay for the ticket, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the only place that we can give you a permit for, but it's going to cost you $150 a year, is way over here." And I'm like, "That's 3 blocks from where I work. That ain't happening, folks. I'm sorry. I'd rather take my chances crossing a major road to get to my job from a public parking spot across the street than walk nearly 3 blocks. I'm sorry. My body, my heart especially, I don't think can take it anymore, because sometimes just getting across the street and walking to the building is a little bit of a pain. Anyhow, it's just, things I have to deal with now. Anyhow, I read parts of the American Cozy that has to deal with what is burnout, or discussions on burning out. Basically what she started to say, paraphrasing it, is burnout is prolonged stress. both physically, mentally, and psychologically exhaustion caused by chaos and the prolonged stress. And mental health experts don't all agree on the exact signs of burnout. But to give you a general idea of some of the signs, one of them is physical and mental exhaustion, which could be anything from physical, mental, or psychological. Yeah, physical, emotional, and mental energy, as well as insomnia, impaired concentration, forgetfulness, low immune system, loss of appetite, anxiety, anger, and even depression. Yeah, I know what that is. I know what it feels like anyhow. I've been there. The other then she goes to talk about the feelings of ineffectiveness and lack of sorry, lack of accomplishment. Been there as well. Um, Basically, why does it bother me type attitude. Well, yeah. Then it talks about detachment. You may find that you are simply not enjoying life anymore. Many signs of burnout, basically. If left unchecked, burnout can damage not only your mental health, but your physical health as well. If you suspect that you are in the throngs of burnout, consider making an appointment with your mental health or your mental health or your mental health provider. And read this chapter for ideas on combating it. So she goes on further to talk about different ways of combating the burnout situation. And I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to read the titles of the different areas. The first one is called Finding Time to Enjoy Calm. Just to paraphrase it real quick, is she talks about taking 30-minute meditation breaks here and there will lower your heart rate and leave you feeling grounded. Okay. Never really thought about that. Then she talks about calm budgets. Sorry, I'm just rereading it real quick. She basically talks about not overdoing your budget or not over worrying about your budget as long as you're as long as the important stuff is taken care of. The next one is look at the reactory activities in your life. Recreationary. Sorry. My brain is on other things, unfortunately. And, she talks about the difference between time suck activities and actual beneficial activities. And she's not even talking about like your own personal activities. It's like, well, for an example, my wife. I love my wife to bits, so this is not a complaint. This is just an example, I guess you'd say, is spending too much time talking with a friend or somebody like that when there's other things that could be done. Now, I understand at this point in time with my wife, her situation gives her all the time to talk on the phone as much as possible. But for me, it's like having to come home and just picking up or dealing with little things that are time suck because you're taking a moment to deal with picking up somebody else's stuff. or dealing with somebody else's stuff. That's kind of a time suck because you're dealing with somebody else's stuff and not your own. I can understand with parents who have kids and whatnot who leave, a wet towel on the floor after a shower, or their backpack in the middle of the hallway, or things of that nature. They can be a time suck because the person who left the towel on the floor or dropped their backpack in the middle of nowhere should be taking care of it. I mean, unless they're like little kids who are just not mindful. But that's when you slowly teach them how to deal with their own stuff. I remember when I was younger, and my father especially, who was the disciplinarian of the house, or I should say of me. I mean, he was the person who taught me the most, I should say. Not that disciplinarian, because he was the one who gave me the spankings when I was really obnoxious. But he tried, before he passed away, to teach me how to deal with take care of my own stuff, which, to be honest with you, before I got married, I was really good at it. I wish I had pictures of what my rooms after he passed away looked like. Next one she talks about is create email answering time. So basically, because she is an author, she takes time out of her day to answer emails about projects or whatever she's dealing with. So she sets up a time period to deal with as many emails as possible. And she even talks about just making them simple and short. Program your personal emails to say, hello, thank you for contacting me. I answer emails between from 7 to 8:30, Monday through Friday. So, something simple. Like, hello, thank you for contacting me. I will answer your email as soon as possible, or whatever. Then she talks about limiting your extracurricular activities. If you're not a parent, you're an empty nester or whatnot, you have all the time in the world. You don't have to deal with young kids or other people in the house. So you can basically set up a schedule where, between, let's say, 2 and 4, you're at the gym if you're a gym person, or between 2 and 4, you're taking a walk, or things like that. But if you have kids, you have to kind of make your schedule around theirs, because, especially if they're into sports, they've got practice and games and, events of one form or another. So you kind of have to schedule your activities to a certain limitation. There we go. This is one I should be practicing. I forgot about this one. Schedule nightly and morning downtime. Well, I don't really have morning downtime because I have to be working early, but downtime in the evening time, or when I get home from work. She suggests 15 to 30 minutes of private time before bed and upon waking up, no longer. Well, my 30 minutes in the morning time is not really private because I have my breakfast to deal with. I have Jerry Ann to deal with. I have all these little things that I have to deal with before I go to work in the morning time. So unless I plan on waking up at 4:30 in the morning time and have 4:30 to 5 a.m. to basically have my private time, I don't really have morning time. And she talks about all the different types of things to deal with, like meditation, bubble bath, reading, a cup of tea, stuff like that. Then she actually has in here, schedule time for exercise. 20 minutes or more helps your body maintain a healthy weight. Keep muscles, including your heart, strong. create a feeling of calm energy and boost mental activity and focus. I should be doing something like that. But that is the end of chapter 8, which deals with scheduling. This next one that I'm going to read later on tonight is called Cozy Business, Your Work Life Hugified. Hugified. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I'm messing up there here and there, and I really, not only does it irritate some of the people who listen to me, but it kind of irritates me too, because I was always good in my younger days at understanding and pronouncing most foreign words, because I know that's an American spelling, but just because it's spelt the way it's spelled doesn't mean it's pronounced the way it's spelled. So yeah, I'm trying to get that, and I know sometimes I forget. But after reading that chapter, the issue I find with scheduling is because I want to schedule. I'm married. I need to try to learn how to schedule, not just for myself, but schedule my times for myself, schedule times for Jerry. And I know Monday through Friday, and Jerry and I have talked about this, Monday through Friday, it's kind of hard to make a schedule because I work about 9 hours a day. Well, technically it's 8.5 hours, but you add that extra half hour for travel time, and technically if I were to do it for travel time plus getting ready for work, it'd probably be closer to 9.5 hours. But for about 9.5 hours out of the day, let's just say 9.5 hours out of the day, Monday through Friday, I am either working or trying to prepare for work or trying to decompress from work, however you want to put it. And that only gives me, if I try to go to bed at 8 p.m., that only gives me about 5 hours to do whatever. Relax, cook, deal with Jerry, all those things. And it can be a little frustrating, especially if you want to have a schedule. And I have a hard enough time with the schedule without all the other issues. So my weekends are basically comprised of housework, house chores, getting things cleaned up, getting things fixed up, just trying to maintain the house, plus do all the decluttering and cleaning by myself. So I have just, I talked to Jerry last weekend, and I said, look, I will work most of the day, but come 3-4 o'clock in the evening, I don't want to do anything, because that will give me time to sit back, relax, make dinner, have some time to myself to do whatever. Whether it's read, whether it's go play a game, whether it's just sitting in bed next to Jerry enjoying a movie. And Jerry agrees. Jerry realizes and understands that I can't keep on working like a crazy person and not have downtime. So that's basically what we've agreed upon. I've actually got to go look up information and see what time the storage facility that we have open, so I can go there and empty it and do all the paperwork for ending the contract. My only big concern with that is how many trips is that going to take, and where am I going to put all that stuff. Jerry had talked about leaving the bags of clothes in the back of the car, because one of our friends said that she wanted to look through dresses for a dress for something, and I was like, okay, look through Jerry Ann's dresses. Jerry Ann's a 4 to 5X, and this person who wants to look at dresses is like a 1, a small, medium maybe. So I was like, okay. I don't see how that's gonna work, but I don't worry about it. I just do what I can do. Sorry if my voice sounds odd. This is the way my voice sounds during allergy season because of the sinuses being clogged and whole 9 yards. So I'm not trying to fake a voice. It's my voice during allergy season. Which I'm pretty sure a lot of you who've been with me for a long time realizes. Anyhow, sorry, I just thought of something and I went, no. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and make breakfast and get my day started. I'm sorry to the one person who complained about she's tired of the common talks. And I'm like, common talks? Not quite sure what she meant, but okay, whatever. But right now, because of all the things going on and I can't focus or concentrate, unless I literally close myself off. Just reading what I read today to you guys, it took me almost an hour to read because of distractions. No, not all those distractions were Jerry Ann and what she was doing, but just a lot of different distractions. But I just remembered something I did want to talk about. I didn't talk about it last night because last night I was trying to be as quick as possible. I got a scratch yesterday. Now let me tell you what's going on. And then I'll tell you about this scratch and what I think about this scratch, because I don't even know where I got it. They are tearing down a very old building from the days of yore when Rolla was established as a miner's town, and the college here in Rolla was established as College of Mines, teaching other miners different techniques on mining and whatnot that they discovered. Now, this whole town was originally established by Irish miners. Now, I know a lot of people aren't into like the supernatural or anything like that, but out of all the paranormal investigation TV shows or series that I've watched, most of the, especially the one that was a series about different haunted mines, and well, for the most part, most mines were originally established by Irishmen until you got to like the Southwest, and that was basically established by I don't know whom. But as I started to tear down that old building, I was working in my venue, and I looked at my arm because it was burning. And I'm like, okay, my normal brain would say, okay, I somehow scratched myself, but why this particular area and what I could have scratched myself on, I don't know. But the thing is, it went from a small scratch to a long scratch in a matter of minutes. And the location of it just kind of got me freaked out because it's right along here, if you can barely see it on the camera. But it started out just a small scratch, and by the end of the day, it was this long. And I'm sitting there going, okay. First off, I don't know what I scratched myself on, but seriously, why is it growing? and why that particular area, because that's right across several veins that people who want to commit suicide usually cut themselves. And I'm like, old Irish building, school of mines established by Irishmen. That part of my brain that thinks about paranormal investigations and paranormal activities started going, okay, they're tearing down an old building that was probably built during your days of yours when the Irishmen were the miners of the time. Am I getting haunted? Am I getting spooked? But that's the way my brain works sometimes. But it's just interesting how it's like, where did I get that? And why does it look like it's getting bigger? That's what my brain was going through the most. It was like, where did it come from? Because it's on the inside of my arm, and the inside of my arm is usually against my body, so there's very little that can cut, scratch, or make that mark. So I'm just like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe somebody's stirring up something. But that's just the way my brain works sometimes. Anyhow, I actually want to investigate that now. Thinking about I should go look that up later when I get a chance. Oh, I forgot to talk about this other thing. Sorry, folks. My brain is all over the place because it's starting to wake up because of the coffee. Yesterday I was talking about my high school days and biology. I went and looked it up last night because I was curious, because like, am I remembering the wrong thing or am I remembering something else? And so I looked it up and read it. Well, according to the internet and all its information about frogs' internal organs, the intestinal tract of a frog actually does not get that big. It gets double the body size length of the frog. So depending on how big the frog is, depends on how big the intestinal tract is. So I corrected myself because I got a comment about that, and I was like, I should look that up to make sure I'm remembering the right words or the right information. So I apologize to you guys for forgetting or misremembering what I thought I knew, and having somebody who actually pointed it out so I can look it up. I appreciate that. I really do, because it's like, if I can look up the information to better my memory or better my knowledge, I enjoy that. I like that because it not only does it challenge me to learn more stuff, but it also challenges me to look up the information, because maybe what I was taught back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s in high school was either I misunderstood the information or took the information about the frog and some other animal with a very large intestinal tract and mixed the two up. So it happens. My mom even tells me the same thing. I'm getting old. Not me, but her. She's like, I'm getting old, so my memories aren't that great, but, you know, here's what I remember type situation. So it's part of just being human. So yeah. I will end my video here because I do need to get started. So if you guys enjoyed this video, sorry, stumbling over my words. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the question comment box. If you're new to my channel and enjoy listening to some of the stuff I read or some of the stuff I talk about, you guys can go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you desire. And once you do that, a little bell will pop up, and click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. Until next time, you guys have a good day. Bye.